Have you ever wondered just how many mysteries remain unsolved in this world? From ancient structures that echo with enigmatic sounds, to groundbreaking inventions lost to history, to strange natural wonders and traces of human life dating back millions of years, all of these weave together a rich and mysterious tapestry of humanity's past. Today, we'll embark on a journey to explore unique destinations, little-known stories, and monuments that hold within them both legend and science. So fasten your seatbelt as we dive into today's mystery. But first, you'll have incredible luck if you like and subscribe before this video ends. The Rain God, Tlaloc Stone Statue. In the heart of bustling modern-day Mexico City, amid the endless flow of people and the noise of everyday life, there stands a colossal reminder of a civilization that once ruled these lands for centuries. This is the stone statue of the rain god Tlaloc, one of the greatest and most mysterious sculptures ever created by the ancient Aztecs. The Tlaloc statue, with its height and weight far beyond what most people could ever imagine, was once buried deep beneath the earth near a small town on the outskirts of Mexico City. More than a century ago, as local farmers were digging irrigation canals for their crops, they unexpectedly uncovered this statue lying silently under layers of mud at the bottom of a dried-up stream. News of the discovery spread quickly, drawing archaeologists, research teams, and hundreds of curious onlookers to the site. What they found was not just an enormous carved stone, but a sacred spiritual symbol of the Aztec Empire. It was the image of Tlaloc, the rain god, lord of the storms and the very source of life for every crop on land. What makes the story of the Tlaloc statue truly unique is not just its immense size or the masterful craftsmanship, but also the strange events that have surrounded it. When the decision was made to move the statue to downtown Mexico City, something truly bizarre happened. The weather, which had been clear and sunny, suddenly turned dark and ominous. A fierce thunderstorm swept in, unleashing heavy rain for days on end, with lightning crashing across the sky, leaving the entire city shocked and uneasy. To the local people, this was no mere coincidence. It was a clear sign that the supernatural power of Tlaloc had awakened. Many believed that the rain god wanted to show his presence in the heart of the modern city, a reminder to all of the unstoppable power of nature. In Aztec culture, the god Tlaloc held a place of extraordinary importance. The Aztecs believed that all life depended on the rain that Tlaloc bestowed. Whenever drought struck or crops failed, it was said that Tlaloc was angry, and the people would urgently perform rain-making ceremonies. They built massive statues, held elaborate rituals, and offered precious gifts to the god, praying for abundant harvests and peace for their communities. Today, the statue of Tlaloc stands not only as an artistic masterpiece of Aztec stonework, but also as a living witness to the profound connection between humanity and myth, between faith in unseen forces and the mysteries of the natural world. It reminds future generations to stay humble before nature, to appreciate the vital importance of water, and to never forget the eternal mysteries that still echo in every heavy rainstorm across the vast Mexican plateau. The Rainbow Cup coin. Hidden along the quiet banks of a peaceful river in present-day Germany, archaeologists have uncovered a truly unique ancient coin, unlike any other. Rather than being flat and round like most old coins, this one is curved, shaped almost like a tiny cup. Etched on its surface is a radiant four-pointed star that glimmers in the light. This remarkable artifact is known by the Celts as the legendary Rainbow Cup. In the imagination of the ancient Celts, there was a strange and beautiful legend. At the end of every rainbow, drops of pure gold would fall to the earth, and from these drops, skilled craftsmen would forge the rare Rainbow Cup coins. In those times, people believed that possessing one of these coins was as good as holding a piece of nature's magic, a blessing from the gods themselves. The coins weren't just symbols of wealth, they were seen as tokens of luck and divine favor, capable of bringing fortune and protection to whoever owned them. The Rainbow Cup coin was much more than a simple means of trade. It carried a spiritual power, serving as a bridge between the world of everyday life and the mysterious realms of Celtic legend. For the ancient Celts, It was proof of their deep faith in the sacredness of nature, a reflection of a culture where spiritual belief and daily existence were tightly intertwined. Today, surviving rainbow cup coins are extremely rare, as most vanished long before the Roman Empire ever set foot in Celtic lands. Each time one is found, it's as if history is illuminated once again by the magical glow of an ancient legend. These discoveries remind us that every artifact carries a hidden story, tales of faith, hope, and humanity's eternal longing for the miraculous. The Roman head statue in Mexico. In 1933, an astonishing discovery in Mexico's Toluca Valley captured the attention of archaeologists around the world. During the excavation of an ancient burial site in this region, researchers uncovered a small terracotta head, mixed in with other grave goods. What made this find so remarkable was that the head bore no resemblance to any artifact ever seen before in pre-Spanish Mexico. Instead, its shape and artistic style unmistakably recalled the sculpture of ancient Rome. Subsequent analysis of its age and craftsmanship confirmed that this artifact likely originated from Rome, dating back to the 2nd century AD, even though the burial itself was only about 500 years old. The discovery instantly sparked a heated debate. Could there have been direct contact between the ancient worlds of Europe and the Americas long before the famous voyage of Christopher Columbus? Some archaeologists and historians found this theory incredibly exciting. They suggested the artifact might be the very first evidence that the Romans, or perhaps Mediterranean traders, had crossed the ocean and brought their culture and objects to the New World thousands of years ago. On the other hand, many other scientists remained skeptical. They argued that the Roman head might simply be an item that was lost during later trade, or perhaps it was introduced much more recently through the illegal antiquities trade and then buried alongside native artifacts. To this day, despite the agreement among experts on the Roman origin of the head, based on fossil analysis, materials testing, and artistic style, there is still no solid evidence of an actual transoceanic journey between ancient Rome and the Americas. The Maya Jade Mask. Deep within the dense jungles of Guatemala, the ancient ruins of the Maya still guard countless mysteries that continue to captivate archaeologists and history lovers alike. During a recent excavation in the royal tomb of a Maya king, researchers uncovered an artifact that left everyone in awe, a breathtaking mask, meticulously assembled from numerous pieces of precious jade. Each fragment was expertly shaped and polished, then joined together as if they were always meant to form a single, unified masterpiece. Embedded within every line and motif lies the unmistakable touch of Maya artisanship. This mask was far more than just an ornament. It stood as a sacred symbol of an entire culture. Experts believe it most likely represented the rain god, a deity who not only brought life and helped crops flourish, but who was also at the center of the Maya's dreams for bountiful harvests. The fact that a king was laid to rest with this jade mask suggests he was more than a ruler. He served as a bridge between the mortal world and the realm of the gods. Restoring the mask became a thrilling journey of discovery. When researchers first brought the broken jade fragments back to the laboratory, they had no idea what secrets they held. It wasn't until each piece was carefully fitted into place that the full, three-dimensional form of the mask emerged. Its mysterious shape, the deep green of the jade, and the ancient carved patterns transported viewers back to the Maya's golden age, a time when art and belief were so closely entwined they could not be separated. The jade mask discovered in the royal tomb not only highlights the remarkable craftsmanship of the Maya, but it also opens new avenues for understanding their burial rituals and profound beliefs about the afterlife. It stands as living proof of a once glorious civilization, where every artifact tells a story of power, faith, and an eternal message from the past to future generations. The Pumapunku ruins in Bolivia. Set high on the windswept plateau of Bolivia, among the majestic peaks of the Andes, the ruins of Pumapunku rise up as a riddle that continues to challenge the understanding of modern civilization. Even though only scattered stone blocks remain across the grasslands and all traces of ancient rooftops have vanished, Pumapunku still amazes archaeologists and engineers worldwide with its seemingly impossible level of craftsmanship. The stone blocks at Pumapunku are massive, many weighing dozens of tons. and were cut and fitted together with an almost perfect precision. What's truly astonishing is that the surfaces, right angles, and perfectly drilled holes in these stones would be difficult to replicate even with today's technology, let alone with the simple stone or bronze tools available to ancient builders. The blocks are joined together using intricate interlocking grooves, all without mortar, forming a structure so sturdy that it could withstand earthquakes in this land that frequently shakes. The mystery of Pumapunku goes far beyond its construction techniques. It's also found in the site's unique position and its sacred religious significance. Many researchers believe Pumapunku once served as the ceremonial heart of the ancient Tiwanaku civilization, drawing tens of thousands of pilgrims from across the Andean highlands to participate in grand festivals and religious rites. For the Tiwanaku people, Pumapunku was not just an architectural marvel, it was the Gate of the Puma, a place connecting the world of humans and the gods, the legendary point of origin of the universe according to local tradition. Yet, what makes Pumapunku even more mysterious is the total disappearance of the civilization that built it. About 1,000 years ago, when Tiwanaku was at its peak with hundreds of thousands of inhabitants and influence stretching across South America, it all collapsed suddenly and silently. No one knows for certain whether the cause was a natural disaster, disease, social upheaval, or some kind of spiritual catastrophe. The Tiwanaku people abandoned their city, leaving behind these ruined monuments and a mystery that has never been solved. Today, Pumapunku stands resilient after thousands of years. Braving the relentless winds of the Bolivian highlands, it is not only an archaeological site, but also a powerful symbol of human ingenuity and a silent witness to the enduring mystery of a vanished civilization, the mysterious cave network of the Vikings. In 2021, as summer sunlight crept across the icy slopes of southwestern Iceland, archaeologists never expected that an entirely different world lay hidden beneath their feet. A small entrance leading underground revealed the secret of a vast network of man-made caves, built as far back as the 10th century. Setting foot into that subterranean labyrinth for the first time felt like stepping into an unwritten chapter of history. Beneath the cold, untouched layers of stone, the cave system unfolded like an ancient underground city. Tunnels stretched endlessly, winding through narrow stone chambers before opening into surprisingly spacious rooms, conjuring images of secret gatherings or even hidden treasure troves belonging to an entire people. At times, the darkness pressed in so completely that all one could hear was the beating of their own heart and the echo of footsteps on stone, a sensation that left every visitor with an overwhelming sense of mystery and sometimes even awe. Researchers once believed that the Vikings of this land only built houses, farms, and small chapels along the cold coastal fringes. But the underground cave system tells a very different story. No one knows for certain why the Vikings undertook such a remarkable construction. A vast, intricate space cut off entirely from sunlight, with countless passages and chambers. Perhaps it served as shelter during the harsh winter months or in times of danger. Or maybe it was a sacred place, reserved for secret ceremonies, witnessed only by members of the clan. The existence of this cave network remains a profound mystery, as no ancient records have survived to explain its true purpose. All that remains are the silent marks of human hands carved into the raw stone, and the sense of awe that fills every modern visitor standing in the middle of this dark and timeless world. The Viking Sunstone. Hidden deep within the memories of Northern Europe's history are the tales of daring Viking voyages, adventures that pushed across the misty oceans and cold seas by some of the most legendary sailors of the medieval world. But few people know the secret that may have helped them cross those fog-shrouded waters and icy stretches where the sky was almost always covered in clouds. This secret lies in the legend of the Sunstone, a mysterious technology said to have guided Viking ships to distant, unknown lands. According to epic sagas and old folklore, the Sunstone was not an ordinary compass, but a special kind of mineral, believed to reveal the position of the sun even when thick clouds or dense fog hid it from view. Ancient storytellers claimed that all a sailor needed to do was hold the stone up and turn it toward the sky. The light passing through the crystal would point the way to the hidden sun, allowing the crew to determine their direction and continue their journey across the open ocean. Thanks to this strange tool, The Vikings were able not only to cross the treacherous North Sea, but also to reach Iceland, Greenland, and even North America centuries before Columbus. Modern scientists believe that the stone described in the old legends was likely a polarizing crystal, such as calcite, also known as Iceland spar. This mineral can split light and help determine the direction of the sun by analyzing polarized rays. However, despite the many references to the sunstone in ancient texts and Norse epics, no physical example has ever been found from the Viking era. All the evidence remains in oral tradition and a handful of modern scientific experiments, leaving the truth of the Viking sunstone shrouded in mystery to this day. The YD Girl Mummy in the Netherlands. In the damp, windswept lowlands of northern Holland, surrounded by the wild landscape of marsh and peat bogs, a stunning discovery once captured the world's attention. In 1897, local workers accidentally unearthed a mummy buried deep beneath the cold, black mud. It was the body of a girl, just 16 years old, later known as the YDE girl. Her face still bore the gentle beauty of youth, but her body revealed painful marks, clues to a tragic fate from prehistoric northern Europe. Even after more than 2,000 years beneath the chilly peat, the evidence on her remains was shockingly clear, as if to remind us of a haunting death. Around her neck was the imprint of a tightly drawn cord, a deep knife wound cut near her collarbone, and there were unmistakable signs that one leg and one arm had been severed. It seems likely that it was this cord and these knife wounds that ended her young life, bringing her story to a sudden end in the wild, unforgiving land where people lived at the mercy of nature and the gods. When scientists examined her remains, they found another remarkable detail. The YDE girl suffered from severe scoliosis, a condition that left her with an unusually small and twisted figure. This may have caused her to be shunned by her community, or even chosen as a sacrificial victim. Her illness, combined with the violent injuries on her body, raises a haunting question. Was she offered up in an ancient ritual to gain favor from the gods? Or was she simply a victim of fear and superstition? Through the cold, muddy layers of the bog, the YDE girl stands as a witness to an ancient northern culture, one where mysterious religious rites, the ever-present fear of sickness, and the fragile fate of humanity came together in a story that is both heartbreaking and mysterious. More than 2,000 years have passed, yet the mournful face of this young girl still lingers in the memory of all who see her. A reminder that every archaeological find carries a human story that can never fully be told. The dhow boats of the Indian Ocean. Across the deep blue waters of the Indian Ocean, the sight of dhow boats with their wind-filled triangular sails has become a symbol of a vibrant maritime culture that has thrived for thousands of years. Unlike the vessels of Europe or the Americas, the dhow is the product of local creativity and wisdom passed down through generations of fishermen, traders, and sailors living along the coasts of East Africa, Arabia, India, and even Southeast Asia. What truly sets the dhow apart is not its size or outward appearance, but its remarkably unique shipbuilding technique. The hull of a dhow is not held together with metal nails. Instead, it is sewn with sturdy plant fibers, such as coconut husk or other natural threads. This stitching method not only gives the boat flexibility and resilience against powerful waves, but also makes the dhow one of humanity's most distinctive maritime inventions. Its large, triangular sail allows the dhow to catch the wind with remarkable efficiency, gliding across the water whether sailing with or against the breeze, far surpassing the performance of traditional sails in other parts of the world. Thanks to the dhow, coastal communities of the Indian Ocean were able to establish vital trade routes linking East Africa with Arabia, Persia, India, and even as far as Southeast Asia. These boats carried precious goods of every kind, but they also transported culture, beliefs, and knowledge from one land to another. The presence of the dhow stands as proof not only of outstanding nautical technology, but also of the openness, adaptability, and creative spirit of the coastal civilizations it served. Today, even as modern technology has transformed the world's oceans, the dhow remains a living symbol of a glorious past. Each voyage is a reenactment of centuries-old journeys, a reminder that sometimes the simplest inventions endure the longest, leaving a deeper mark than any grand castle or monument ever could on land. The UFO harvesting solar energy. In the vastness of the universe, where every mystery can become a topic of endless debate, few things spark the human imagination more than theories about extraterrestrial life. One of the most sensational stories in recent times comes from a series of satellite images capturing strange phenomena near the Sun. Several so-called UFO hunters claim to have spotted a massive object, standing out next to the glowing aura of the Sun, shaped remarkably like a gigantic spacecraft harvesting energy from the very heart of our solar system. According to these images, the mysterious object appears and disappears over the span of just a few days, sometimes reappearing in a different form, but always maintaining a size far greater than any familiar satellite or natural celestial body. Some believe this is evidence that extraterrestrial civilizations have developed technology advanced enough to collect energy directly from stars. They even suggest that enormous refueling stations could be operating out in space, on a scale far beyond anything we can imagine. However, leading scientists and technical experts have offered much more cautious and realistic explanations. In their view, most of these phenomena are simply cosmic dust, or small debris drifting across the lenses of observation satellites, producing strange streaks or shapes due to reflected light and image interference. In other cases, the culprit may be high-energy particles, or, quite simply, data transmission errors as satellites send information back to Earth. Even so, the theory of an alien spacecraft harvesting solar energy has never lost its appeal among those fascinated by the mysteries of the cosmos. It fuels curiosity and serves as a reminder that the universe around us still holds countless phenomena that current science cannot fully explain. Every unusual image captured on satellite screens stirs up curiosity, debate, and wild speculation about the possibility that advanced civilizations may be quietly operating in the shadows between the stars. The Bronze Hand. Thousands of years ago, amid the ancient streets of the Greek and Roman city-states, people would occasionally witness strange rituals whose meaning few could fully grasp. In the shadows, silent devotees moved quietly, each carrying a wooden staff topped with an exquisitely crafted bronze hand. Unlike any other religious artifact, this bronze hand had its fingers twisted into mysterious gestures, sometimes posed in ways that seemed to mimic the hands of the dead, newly departed from this world. Ancient artisans devoted immense effort to carving every detail on these bronze hands. Many were adorned with images of snakes winding around the fingers or crawling along the staff, adding even more to the aura of mystery. Some of the hands even contained hidden compartments inside, meant to hold magical items or sacred talismans known only to members of the cult. It was this elaborate craftsmanship and mystery in every detail that made the bronze hands sacred objects, forever tied to a religious sect that history has left largely unrecorded. The cult of Sabazius. Sabazius was a god of fertility, venerated alongside legendary names such as Zeus and Dionysus. However, the god Sabazius and his followers were unusually secretive. Nearly all information about their rituals or even their origins has been buried by time. Researchers have determined only that Sabazius was a foreign faith, brought into Rome during the expansion of the empire, likely originating from the region of Thrace or Phrygia, places where legends and ancient rites were always tinged with the supernatural. Though the cult exerted a powerful influence around the 1st century AD, like many secret sects of Rome, it left behind almost no written records. All that survives today are archaeological artifacts, the most haunting of which are these bronze hands. These relics have been found at sites all across the Mediterranean, from Greece and Rome to distant regions once conquered by the empire. Thanks to these remarkable objects, historians have managed to piece together some sense of a once powerful secret religion, now reduced to scattered fragments. The bronze hand in the cult of Sabazius was not merely a religious artifact. It also stood as a reminder of the power of belief, the blending of cultures, and the countless myths still waiting for explanation. While the god Sabazius is sometimes depicted wearing a crown or holding a spear in ancient descriptions, it is only this strange bronze hand that endures as his eternal symbol, a mystery that, to this day, archaeologists and historians have yet to fully unravel. And it is precisely this enigma that has made the bronze hands of the ancient world among the most mysterious, religious, and archaeological symbols still surviving on Earth. Hexagonal clouds over the Bermuda Triangle. Stretching across the Atlantic Ocean, the Bermuda Triangle has long been a name synonymous with mysterious tales of ships and planes vanishing without a trace. Decades have passed, yet this enigma remains unsolved, turning the area into a symbol of the supernatural and fueling speculation about unknown alien forces at work. Yet, beneath this mystical veil, modern science is slowly uncovering truths that are as surprising as they are fascinating. One significant breakthrough has come from satellite technology. Those giant eyes watching Earth from space have, almost by accident, captured extraordinary images over the waters of the Bermuda Triangle. What they revealed were massive clusters of hexagonal clouds, marked by sharp edges, stretching for dozens or even hundreds of miles above the ocean. What makes these hexagonal shapes truly remarkable is that they are not only rare, but also directly linked to extreme weather events. Meteorological experts analyzing these satellite images have found that these clusters often produce powerful, unusual wind currents, acting like natural air bombs, with a force far greater than any typical storm. When cold air masses plummet down at speeds reaching 170 miles per hour, they slam into the ocean surface, creating waves that can soar over 50 feet high, more than enough to sink any vessel passing beneath and to wreak havoc on aircraft flying above. These winds are notorious not just for their power, but for their unpredictability. They often strike without warning, leaving ship captains and pilots with little time to react. In a matter of moments, the entire scene can transform. The sky turns dark, the sea erupts in fury, and chaos reigns. As a result, countless ships and planes have disappeared within minutes, leaving behind unanswered questions and enduring mysteries. Researchers now believe that these hexagonal clouds and natural air bombs have played a key role in the string of tragedies at the Bermuda Triangle. Mysteries that for centuries were blamed on supernatural forces. Every new satellite image, every bit of data gathered from space, opens another window into the unpredictable power of nature. Still, the sense of mystery has never fully faded. While the air bomb theory has brought us closer to an explanation, in the minds of many, the Bermuda Triangle remains a boundary, where science meets the unknown, and where human curiosity is forever challenged. Perhaps in the future, modern technology will continue to peel back even deeper secrets, finally giving us a complete picture of one of the planet's most challenging regions. But for now, the story of the hexagonal clouds stands as vivid proof of nature's might, its wild unpredictability, and a reminder of the limits of human knowledge in the face of the universe's power. The mysterious Band of Pits in Peru, lying on the vast Nazca Plateau of Peru, amid barren fields and a landscape nearly devoid of life, an ancient mystery still troubles archaeologists to this day. This is the enormous Band of Pits, stretching for kilometers in long, winding rows that snake across hillsides and valleys, so massive and strange that only from above can their full scale and peculiarity truly be appreciated. Anyone who visits these pits is left amazed at the scale and the effort that ancient people must have invested in creating them. Each pit is cylindrical, about 1 to 2 meters deep, and wide enough for an adult to fit inside. The pits form continuous lines, sometimes straight, sometimes undulating, at times running along mountain slopes, and at other times cutting across valleys, as if sketching a gigantic code on the Earth's surface, a code that remains unsolved by future generations. Since the Band of Pits was first discovered and mapped by archaeologists in the early 20th century, many theories have been proposed to explain their true purpose. Some researchers believe these are collective burial sites, where ancient inhabitants laid their loved ones to rest as part of religious rituals or unique spiritual beliefs. However, to date, almost no human remains or grave goods have been found inside the pits, causing this theory to lose ground. Other scientists suggest that the pits served as food storage, where people kept grains, roots, or other essentials to survive the harsh climate of the Nazca Highlands. In theory, such a regular arrangement of pits could help regulate moisture and preserve food over long periods. Yet, so far, there is no concrete archaeological evidence confirming this function. There are also many unique theories suggesting these pits are linked to ancient beliefs, astronomy, rain-making rituals, or perhaps even represent a form of mysterious markings, similar to the famous Nazca lines found nearby. But to this day, all answers remain in the realm of speculation. With no single explanation widely accepted among scholars, it is precisely these unanswered mysteries that make the Band of Pits on the Nazca Plateau a true challenge from the past to modern humanity. Each deep pit, each endless row in this arid land, stands as a testament to the extraordinary creativity of ancient people, while also casting a shadow of the unknown over a civilization that once flourished here. And so, the strange Band of Pits in Peru continues to draw the interest of scientists, archaeologists, and all who are fascinated by unsolved mysteries, waiting for the day when the truth will finally be revealed from the dry but heritage-rich soil of Nazca. Ancient Egyptian irrigation engineering. Along the endless flow of the Nile River, the civilization of ancient Egypt created one of the most magnificent irrigation systems in human history. Thousands of years ago, when much of humanity still relied on sheer manpower to battle the forces of nature, the Egyptians quietly built stone walls stretching more than 600 miles along this legendary river. Over the course of 3 millennia, these walls not only tamed devastating floods, but also regulated the river's flow, safeguarded harvests, and ensured food security for an entire vast kingdom. It was only when modern scientists used satellite imagery and aerial survey techniques that the mysteries of this irrigation system began to come to light. The images revealed a complex network of more than 1,200 segments of walls, large and small, extending from Egypt deep into Sudan. Some smaller sections were built by just a single person or a small group over the course of a few days. Yet there were also grand segments that demanded the labor of hundreds or even thousands of people. Beyond their practical role in flood control, each stretch of wall reflects the intelligence and patience of countless generations. From stones carefully stacked by hand to massive walls that have withstood the ravages of time, all of these have contributed to a feat of ancient engineering that still commands admiration today. This system is not only a tangible legacy, but also a symbol of the enduring desire to conquer nature and build a prosperous life along the banks of the Nile, a testament to the vision and resilience of the Egyptian people thousands of years ago. Lost languages and forgotten gods. In a remote region of Anatolia, archaeologists made a startling discovery: a previously unknown language in the history of humanity. This language, named Khazma, has sparked major questions about the ancient Hittite kingdom, an empire that ruled this land nearly 4,000 years ago. Strange characters inscribed on buried clay tablets have opened a new chapter in the quest to decipher the mysteries of a civilization once regarded as one of the most powerful empires of the ancient world. The Hittites were renowned not only for their military might, but also for a uniquely polytheistic culture. Within their kingdom, hundreds of gods from conquered lands were worshipped and, in fact, were often absorbed into the Hittites' own religious system. Whenever they expanded their territory, instead of erasing local religions, they chose to honor new gods, building temples and holding elaborate ceremonies to welcome these deities into their own pantheon. This act of inclusion not only strengthened their authority, but also created a vibrant society where people could maintain their traditions and identity. The newly discovered Khazma language texts do more than document religious rituals. They also reflect the rich linguistic and spiritual diversity at the heart of the Hittite Empire. Researchers have realized that the Hittites saw language as a sacred bridge to the divine. They believed that each god understood only their own language. Preserving multiple languages, then, was also a way to preserve the gods' protection over their land. This explains why the Hittite kingdom remained open to every faith it encountered, a sharp contrast to cultures that worshipped a single deity. This discovery not only gives historians deeper insight into the complex social structure and worldview of the Hittites, but also raises new questions about why they clashed so intensely with monotheistic cultures in the ancient Middle East. The story of the Khazma language and the vanished gods stirs the imagination. A world where every language carried a spark of the divine, and every culture represented a vital piece in the great puzzle of human history. Secrets of the Harappa tombs. Beneath the ancient layers of earth at Mohenjo-Daro, a city that once stood as a thriving center of the Indus Valley civilization, archaeologists have uncovered two skeletons lying side by side, locked in a tender embrace. This discovery does more than stir emotion. It also raises countless questions about a mysterious civilization that flourished along the banks of the Indus River thousands of years ago. Both skeletons are remarkably tall for their time. The man was around 35 years old, the woman about 25, and both appear healthy, showing no signs of disease or injury. Their burial was strikingly simple. There were no valuable artifacts, only a few small clay pots or plain pieces of jewelry placed nearby. It seems they left this world at the same moment, leaving behind an unfinished love story and an unsolved mystery for future generations. What puzzles scientists most are the enormous gaps in our understanding of the Indus civilization. Unlike ancient Egypt, where every pharaoh's name is immortalized in stone, the rulers of the Indus left no trace in recorded history. Every character and inscription on the stone tablets remains undeciphered by modern scholars. The tombs themselves are modest, lacking the grandeur of other dynasties and showing no signs of royal burials or clear evidence of a ruling class. No one knows exactly who these two people were. They could have been lovers, close friends, or even members of the same family. The fact that they died together remains a mystery, as there is no evidence of violence, disease, or natural disaster. Perhaps these secrets will forever lie buried beneath the earth of the Indus Valley, a place where every clue about an ancient society continues to challenge scientists around the world. The legend of the ant. People in America. In the far reaches of the American Southwest, the wild lands of the Four Corners still hold the dust of ancient cultures. Here, among rugged mountains and barren deserts, the descendants of the Hopi people continue to keep alive the legend of a mysterious race, the ant people, being said to have once lived side by side with humans since the dawn of time. The story of the ant people is more than just a legend. It reflects a deep-seated belief, a profound connection between humanity, nature, and the supernatural forces that exist within the universe. According to the Hopi, life is not confined to the visible world but is intertwined with mysterious realms deep beneath the earth. From ancient times, they have lived in harmony with the natural order, respecting all forms of life and seeing every creature, every gust of wind, and every stream as an expression of the earth's spirit. Notably, the Hopi do not look up to the sky in search of gods, but believe that the powerful beings are born from the earth itself, emerging like seedlings after a harsh winter to bring new life to humanity. The legend says that during a time of chaos, when the surface world was ravaged by fire or flood, the first Hopi were sheltered by giant ants in their deep underground tunnels. These beings were not only wise, but also generous, helping people survive great disasters, teaching them how to endure, and guiding them back to the surface when the danger had passed. The Hopi call them Anu Sinom and revere them with an almost divine respect. The story of the giant ants is more than a tale. It is woven into the collective consciousness of the Hopi people through rituals, traditional dances, and religious symbols. Remarkably, the largest archaeological sites of the Anasazi are arranged in the shape of the constellation Orion, as if the ancients intentionally created a mysterious link between the stars above and their villages below the earth. This strange coincidence has given rise to bold new theories. Some modern researchers suggest that the ant people are not merely mythical figures, but may refer to extraterrestrial beings who once visited Earth, lived underground, and imparted knowledge to early humans. Ancient petroglyphs carved into the rock faces of the Four Corners only deepen the mystery, depicting figures that are sometimes half human, half insect, and sometimes appear to hold symbols of the cosmos in their hands. More than 1,000 years have passed since the first inhabitants abandoned their stone cities perched high on cliff walls. The reasons for their sudden disappearance remain a mystery, adding yet another layer to the legends of the ant people. Was it a collective memory of a great catastrophe, or a warning left for future generations about the unpredictable connection between humanity and the invisible forces within the earth? Or is this legend a reflection of humanity's eternal yearning to understand the universe, to seek the deeper origins of our own existence within the grand design of creation. The lost pirate treasure of Seychelles. Amid the crystal clear waters of the Indian Ocean, the Seychelles archipelago rises like a string of emeralds scattered across the vast sea and sky. Yet beneath this wild, unspoiled beauty lies one of the greatest mysteries of the pirate world, the lost treasure of the infamous pirate Labus. Legend has it that nearly 3 centuries ago, as he was being relentlessly pursued, Labus carried all his plunder to one of the 115 islands scattered offshore and hid it deep beneath the earth, beneath rocks and tangled tropical forests. Gold, silver, diamonds, gemstones, and priceless artifacts once filled the holds of captured merchant ships, and now are said to lie somewhere underground, beneath the shadows of swaying palms and the ceaseless sound of the ocean. Generations have come and gone, and countless treasure hunters have combed every inch of these islands, hoping to change their fortunes, or simply to solve the riddle that keeps the story of Seychelles alive through the ages. There are those who have spent almost their entire lives wandering across Mahé or Praslin, listening to the wind, following faded old maps, examining every rocky outcrop, every cryptic message left by Labus. Some even believe that Labus's treasure is the key to even greater secrets from the golden age of piracy in the Indian Ocean. Yet after centuries of searching, no one has ever truly laid hands on that legendary fortune. Today, each time visitors or explorers set foot on the islands, they cannot help but wonder if, beneath that deep forest floor, a massive treasure still sleeps, waiting for someone lucky and persistent enough to finally unlock Labus's ultimate secret. And it is precisely this undiscovered treasure that has made Seychelles a place not only enchanting for its beauty, but mesmerizing for its never-ending legends, a land where past and present are forever entwined in the golden dreams of generations. The mysterious Phaistos Disk of Greece. On the sun-drenched island of Crete, hidden deep within the ruins of the ancient palace of Phaistos, lies a small artifact that has sparked worldwide curiosity for more than a century. This is the Phaistos Disk, a clay disk over 4,000 years old, discovered in the early 20th century by an Italian archaeologist. Although its size is no larger than an ordinary dinner plate, it carries the weight of mysteries that have never been solved. The entire surface of the disk is covered with strange symbols, each one pressed into the soft clay before it was fired. In total, there are 241 symbols, belonging to 45 distinct types, arranged in spirals running from the outer edge all the way to the center. Unlike any script ever found on Crete or anywhere else in the Mediterranean, these symbols make up a completely unknown language, one that has left even the most learned scholars at a loss. What makes the disk especially intriguing is that it was found in what was once the heart of the Minoan civilization, a culture renowned for its grand palaces, enchanting legends, and technical achievements far ahead of its time. Yet, while Linear A and Linear B texts at other archaeological sites have helped reveal some secrets of Minoan life, the Phaistos disk stands apart, like a challenge sent from the past to the present, defying every rule. To this day, the true purpose of the disk remains unknown. Some believe it was a ceremonial calendar, a prayer, or perhaps a message intended for the gods. Others boldly question whether it could be the product of an entirely different civilization, one that once existed and then vanished before history ever had a chance to record its name. The creation myth of Mesopotamia. When it comes to legendary tales of the creation of the universe, it's impossible to overlook the Enuma Elish, the famous Babylonian epic of creation. This story was inscribed on 7 clay tablets, dating all the way back to the 18th century BCE. Across thousands of years, those ancient lines have continued to captivate anyone who seeks to understand the origins of the world and of humanity itself. The content of Enuma Elish begins in a universe without order, a realm of primordial chaos. At the center of this story is Tiamat, the goddess representing the salt sea and the embodiment of chaotic power. Tiamat is depicted as a gigantic, fierce, and mysterious being, possessing the ability both to destroy and to create. Opposing Tiamat is Marduk, the heroic god of the Babylonians. Marduk is not only wise, but also courageous and decisive, standing as the champion of order and light. The battle between Tiamat and Marduk is the heart of this epic. After a series of fierce clashes, Marduk ultimately prevails. He splits Tiamat's body in two. One half becomes the sky, the other forms the earth. It is said that from Tiamat's tears, the two great rivers, Euphrates and Tigris, were born, bringing life to the vast land of Mesopotamia. With the cosmos restored to order, Marduk then assigned roles to the other gods, charging them with the care and governance of the world. Each deity would oversee a different realm, from the sea to the land, from the sky to the forces of nature. Thanks to this, the universe moved from primeval chaos to order. Everything began to function according to natural laws, and the foundation for life was set. Enuma Elish is not just a story about the creation of heaven and earth. It also reflects the Babylonians' deep belief in the power of the gods and the vital importance of order in the world. The influence of this epic reaches far beyond the boundaries of a single civilization, spreading into the religions, cultures, and creation myths of the entire ancient Middle East. After thousands of years, the Enuma Elish remains one of the most vivid testimonies to humanity's boundless imagination and enduring desire to explain the mysteries of the universe. The Puckle Gun. Invented in 1718, the Puckle Gun marked a turning point in the history of modern weaponry. It was one of the world's first devices capable of rapid, repeated fire, ushering in a new era where battles were no longer limited by the slow pace of manual reloading. Created by British lawyer James Puckle, this gun featured a unique design with a multi-chambered revolving cylinder, allowing for continuous firing without the need to load each round one by one. However, what made the Puckle gun famous and controversial was not just its technology, but the intentions behind its use. Puckle designed two types of ammunition for the same gun. Round bullets were intended for use against Christian soldiers, with the aim of causing faster and more humane injuries, while square bullets were made for use against Muslim opponents, designed to inflict more severe and lingering wounds. This approach vividly reflected the religious divisions and conflicts of the era, turning a technical achievement into a lasting symbol of controversy in military history. Despite its destructive power and early hopes that it would revolutionize warfare, the Puckle gun never gained widespread adoption by military forces. The main reason lay in its own bulky and unwieldy construction. Operating the gun required several people, it took considerable time to set up and reload, and it simply couldn't keep pace with the ever-increasing speed of modern armies on the move. Even so, the idea of an automatic weapon like the Puckle gun paved the way for future innovations, from the Gatling gun to the modern machine guns used today. The First Nuclear War. Among the many legends and conspiracy theories about humanity's distant past, one especially controversial hypothesis centers on the mysterious destruction of the two biblical cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Rather than accepting that these cities were wiped out by a natural disaster or divine punishment, as the traditional accounts suggest, some researchers have proposed that their downfall was, in fact, the result of a nuclear war in ancient times, with none other than the Anunnaki gods as the force behind it. According to these stories, Sodom and Gomorrah were not only infamous for their wickedness, but also happened to be located at the crossroads of a power struggle among rival Anunnaki factions, particularly over control of a spaceport in the Sinai region. When conflict reached its peak, weapons of unimaginable destructive force were unleashed, creating a deadly, poisonous wind that swept across the land. The sudden and total disappearance of these cities has lent weight to the theory that a high-tech war, far beyond the capabilities of people at the time, may have occurred. However, the heart of this story traces back to the personal interpretations of Zecharia Sitchin, a well-known author famous for his writings on the extraterrestrial origins of humanity. While Sitchin's ideas are intriguing and thought-provoking, they remain on the fringes of mainstream scholarship and have never been widely accepted by scientists or archaeologists. Many critics argue that these claims are largely based on creative readings of ancient texts, lacking solid evidence to confirm that a nuclear conflict ever took place in the distant past. Even so, tales like this continue to captivate those fascinated by the unsolved mysteries of history. They serve as a reminder that the human story still holds countless secrets, places where fact and legend intertwine, creating myths that live on in the imagination of people everywhere. The singing stone pillars of ancient Hindu temples. If you ever have the chance to step inside an ancient Hindu temple in India, you will not only be awed by the grandeur of its architecture, but also amazed by a mystery that seems straight out of legend: the singing stone pillars. In temples like Meenakshi in Tamil Nadu or Vitala in Karnataka, visitors are often astonished when, with just a gentle touch of their bare hands on the massive stone columns, they hear melodies echoing through the air, reminiscent of traditional Indian musical instruments. These sounds are not dull or monotonous, but vibrant and melodic, like the notes of a veena, the tones of a bamboo flute, or the rhythmic beat of ancient drums. Amid the sacred, timeless atmosphere, the stone pillars become silent musicians, joining together in a symphony of stone that blends art, spirituality, and science. The secret of these pillars lies in the extraordinary skill of ancient artisans. Each pillar was carved from a single block of stone, with every shape and dimension carefully calculated so that, when struck, the stone would vibrate at a precise frequency to produce a distinct musical note. Stone, in this context, was far more than just a building material. It was a medium for music, a bridge connecting people to the mysterious spiritual world. The ancients believed that the vibrations and resonant frequencies of the pillars could open a doorway between the mortal realm and the divine. During rituals, the echoing sounds from the stone columns were considered an invitation to the gods, a sign of their sacred presence on earth. Today, the value of these singing stone pillars goes beyond their artistic beauty. They are a precious scientific legacy of ancient acoustics. Conservators and restoration experts are painstakingly studying and preserving every detail, striving to restore the authentic sounds of each pillar just as their ancestors did centuries ago. Even as the years pass, these orchestras of stone continue to play their silent music, reminding today's generations of the creativity, wisdom, and deep spirituality of people from the distant past. Standing within that space, one can almost feel the breath of history and the eternal mystery preserved in the heart of every ancient temple. The Kingudi Nail. In 1844, at the Kingudi Quarry in Scotland, an unexpected discovery sparked questions that scientists would debate for generations. While workers were cutting through layers of sandstone, they came across a rusted iron nail buried deep inside a solid block of rock. What made this find so strange was that the nail wasn't simply lying on the surface or wedged in a crack. It appeared to be completely surrounded and locked within the sandstone itself, as if someone had deliberately placed it there before the rock was ever formed. When researchers studied the age of the stone, geologists determined that the sandstone at Kingudi Quarry was anywhere from 48 million to 360 million years old. This astonishing detail made the nail one of those artifacts that simply shouldn't exist in the era where it was found. For those who believe in lost civilizations or mysteries beyond the reach of current science, the discovery was cause for excitement, fueling the idea that human history might be far more complex than our records suggest. However, most scientists have remained skeptical about the authenticity of the find. Some believe it's likely there was a mistake during the excavation or in reporting the discovery. Others have suggested the nail could have simply been dropped by a modern worker into a crack in the rock, then sealed in by natural processes over time. Still, others have questioned whether it was a hoax, made at a time when strange archaeological finds were making frequent headlines. To this day, the Kingudi nail remains unverified, and the artifact itself is no longer preserved well enough for modern testing. Yet, the story of the iron nail trapped inside ancient rock continues to be one of the most intriguing mysteries, raising deep questions about the true limits of human knowledge and the untold chapters of our history and science. Nero's revolving banquet hall. In the very heart of ancient Rome, where absolute power and limitless luxury defined the Roman Empire, there once stood a marvel that left all who saw it in awe: the revolving banquet hall within Emperor Nero's Golden Palace. From the moment it was built, this hall became a symbol of Nero's extravagant lifestyle and his passion for creative innovation, reflecting the bold personality of one of the most distinctive and controversial emperors in Roman history. Within the sprawling estate, which stretched across hundreds of acres, this unique banquet room was designed with an astonishing mechanical system. At the center of the hall stood a massive pillar supporting the entire structure above. Thanks to an intricate system of gears, wheels, and a rotating axle powered by flowing water, The entire banquet space could gently spin around its central axis. Guests at Nero's feasts were treated not only to exquisite food and enchanting music, but also to the surreal experience of their surroundings, slowly turning throughout the evening. Under the shimmering lights, the floor glided in continuous motion to the sound of laughter and conversation, creating an atmosphere of luxury that anyone of the time would have dreamed of experiencing. But the extravagance didn't end there. The ceiling itself was designed to open with a gentle sliding mechanism. At the climax of the evening, panels would shift aside to shower the guests with fragrant flower petals and cool mists of perfume, filling the entire space with a sensory spectacle that felt like slipping into a luxurious dream. Each feast was far more than a meal. It was a demonstration of imperial power, creative vision, and the cutting-edge engineering of the Roman era. For the Romans, architectural perfection and technical artistry were seen as true measures of an emperor's greatness and leadership. For centuries, tales of Nero's revolving banquet hall, described by ancient historians like Suetonius, were dismissed as fanciful legend. It was only when modern archaeologists unearthed remnants on the Palatine Hill that details of the hall's rotating mechanism and engineering were finally confirmed. This discovery proved that the Romans were not only masters of grand arenas and monumental bridges, but could also push the boundaries of entertainment and construction to levels never seen before. Though Nero's Golden Palace has long vanished into history, the memory of his spinning banquet hall remains a vivid testament to the audacity and ambition of ancient Rome. Whenever Nero's name is mentioned, people cannot help but imagine a world where even the wildest ideas could be realized by the gifted engineers and architects of a truly remarkable age. The 7,000-year-old road beneath the Mediterranean. Beneath the crystal-clear waters of the Mediterranean Sea, near the beautiful Croatian island of Korčula, archaeologists have uncovered a mystery that has astonished researchers everywhere. These are the remains of an ancient road lying deep beneath the sea, silently connecting Korčula to the mainland since the Stone Age. This discovery not only opens a new window into the distant past of the Mediterranean, but also changes the way we imagine the lives and development of prehistoric civilizations. The story began with unusual images captured by satellite in 2021, when experts noticed strange traces beneath the sea near Korčula. Ancient stone walls seem to have been hiding for thousands of years, waiting for modern people to find them. Unable to resist the lure of this mystery, archaeologists decided to dive down and investigate in person. What they found was a meticulously built ancient road constructed from large stone slabs stacked together, stretching up to 4 meters wide and now lying some 4 to 5 meters below the surface. Even after being buried in mud and sediment for millennia, the road has maintained its sturdy structure, and the outline of the ancient path is still clear to see. Through radiocarbon dating of organic materials and archaeological artifacts found at the site, scientists have determined that the road is between 4,900 and 7,000 years old, belonging to the ancient Hvar culture. The Hvar were one of the most important Stone Age cultures in the eastern Mediterranean, but left behind very little concrete evidence in the historical record. The discovery of this submerged road has not only shed new light on the building techniques and social organization of the Hvar people, but it also shows that even in prehistoric times, people were connecting islands to the mainland, expanding trade, migrating, and exchanging culture. Stone axes, pottery shards, and other tools found around the site further support the theory of a dynamic, creative community, one that adapted resourcefully to the natural changes in their environment. Most intriguingly, the existence of this ancient road, now hidden deep beneath the sea, raises questions about geological and climate changes over thousands of years. Rising sea levels have swallowed up countless traces of ancient humanity, but in doing so, have also helped preserve and protect these structures, allowing us, when they are finally rediscovered, to better understand the long journey of early civilizations. The discovery of a 7,000-year-old road beneath the Mediterranean is more than just an archaeological milestone. It stands as a powerful reminder of humanity's endurance, ingenuity, and unbreakable desire to connect. In the mysterious, silent depths of the sea, the story of this ancient road continues, telling of the Hvar people's drive to reach out to the world and illuminating new pages in the unwritten history of the ancient Mediterranean. The Emerald Tablet. Throughout the course of human history, The Emerald Tablet has stood as the ultimate symbol of hidden knowledge. For generations, scholars believed this legendary tablet was linked to Thoth, the Egyptian god revered as the keeper of all secrets, of writing, and of magic. When Greek culture encountered ancient Egypt, they saw Thoth as Hermes Trismegistus, a figure who embodied both divine power and human wisdom, becoming a timeless icon of mystery and enlightenment. What truly makes the Emerald Tablet unique is not just its appearance or the legends surrounding it, but the deep, concise philosophy inscribed upon its surface. The ancients carved onto the tablet the famous line, "As above, so below." The meaning of this phrase goes far beyond the ordinary. People believe that everything in the universe is connected, that every movement in the heavens influences what happens on Earth, and that every great secret is reflected in the smallest details. To grasp this wisdom, it was said, was to open the door to knowledge usually beyond human reach. Over the centuries, the Emerald Tablet has inspired countless legends. Some claimed the tablet was buried in a secret temple, hidden away and accessible only to those who were truly worthy. Many alchemists believed the tablet contained the recipe for creating the Philosopher's Stone, a mythical substance that could turn base metals into gold and grant immortality. For centuries, seekers devoted their lives in pursuit of its ultimate secret, hoping to uncover the mysteries of life and death. Whatever the truth behind the Emerald Tablet may be, it remains a powerful symbol of humanity's unending quest for discovery. It reminds us that knowledge, no matter how well hidden or mysterious, belongs to those who never stop searching and who dare to believe in the wonders of the universe. The underground waterfall of Ruby Falls. Hidden deep beneath the mighty Lookout Mountain in Tennessee lies a natural wonder that never fails to leave visitors in awe. This is Ruby Falls, one of the most unusual and unforgettable destinations you can experience in the United States. Unlike the roaring waterfalls found in wild forests or those plunging down dramatic cliffs, Ruby Falls sits quietly deep underground, where darkness and silence have reigned for millions of years. The story of Ruby Falls began in 1928, when an explorer named Leo Lambert set out to find a new route into the cave system beneath Lookout Mountain. After dozens of hours squeezing through narrow, pitch-black passages, he discovered a breathtaking waterfall, over 144 feet high, cascading from the ceiling of a cavern nearly 1,120 feet below the surface. Captivated by its sparkling, otherworldly beauty, Lambert named the falls after his beloved wife, Ruby. Since then, Ruby Falls has become a must-see attraction, drawing millions of visitors from across the country and around the world. Stepping inside Lookout Mountain, the journey to Ruby Falls feels like entering an entirely different world. The path to the waterfall is a maze of caves, natural stone arches, and countless stalactites and stalagmites, each glistening in the subtle glow of artificial lights. Every step through these winding chambers feels like a walk through nature's own sculpture gallery, where time, water, and stone have worked in silent harmony for millions of years. But Ruby Falls isn't just about waterfalls and caves. The site is woven into local legends of Native Americans, outlaws hiding from the law, and even traces of Civil War soldiers who once passed through the region. From a geological perspective, Ruby Falls is a vivid testament to the Earth's ever-changing crust. Experts believe the area was once the floor of a shallow sea hundreds of millions of years ago, and that powerful geologic forces later created the massive limestone layers and extensive cave networks we see today. Rainwater and underground streams slowly carved out the limestone, forming the fantastic stalactites, stalagmites, and, eventually, the magical cascade of Ruby Falls itself. Today, Ruby Falls is more than just a natural spectacle. It is a crossroads of history, legend, and science. Every visit here is a journey through the past, a lesson in the power of nature, and a tribute to human courage and boundless curiosity. Anyone who has ever stood beneath this underground waterfall, listening to the echoing rush of water in the deep darkness, comes away with a renewed sense of wonder at the eternal and mysterious beauty Mother Nature has bestowed upon us all. The 2-million-year-old ancient playground in China. Nestled beside Lake Neihuan in northern China, an ancient archaeological site has delivered a truly surprising and fascinating discovery to the world of science. Buried within layers of mud that have accumulated over millions of years, researchers have unearthed more than 700 small stone tools, along with tens of thousands of tiny fragments, items that were likely toys or simple implements crafted by prehistoric women and children nearly 2 million years ago. What makes this site unique is that, unlike many other ancient hunting locations, hardly any large animal bones were found here. Instead, there are traces of herbivores and abundant evidence of a very different kind of daily life. The scene at Lake Nihewin resembles a peaceful playground from a distant past, where ancient children and their mothers might have sat by the water's edge, carefully shaping small stones into useful items or simple toys for play and daily living. Unlike campsites or hunting grounds filled with the bones of large animals, this place shows no signs of large-scale hunting activity, only the gentle, everyday routines of an early community. Scientists believe that the remarkable preservation of these artifacts was due to a sudden event, such as a landslide or flash flood, which quickly buried everything and protected these tiny objects from the erosion of time and weather. The discovery of this ancient playground not only enriches the field of archaeology, but also raises profound questions about the story of human evolution and migration. For decades, most theories held that Africa was humanity's sole cradle, where the earliest hominids appeared before spreading to other continents. Yet the stone tools found at Lake Nihewin, dating back nearly 2 million years, provide solid evidence that early humans were present in Asia as well, and may have developed complex social lives independent of the migration from Africa. The true value of this ancient playground lies not just in its age or craftsmanship, but in the deeply human story it tells about our prehistoric ancestors. Even in the harshest natural environments, they made time for their children, for creativity, and for family bonds. These small stones are more than mere relics of the past. They are a silent testament to an early culture where motherhood, play, and the desire to share knowledge were already taking root. The story of Lake Nihewin reminds us that the origins of humanity are not defined by a single path, but are instead the result of many ancient civilizations intersecting, spreading across continents since the dawn of history. If you found these mysterious stories fascinating and you're eager to explore more of the amazing world out there, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any videos as we continue to unravel the mysteries of history, science, and nature together. Thank you for watching and supporting us. See you in the next video, where even more incredible and intriguing discoveries are waiting just ahead.